Mr. Speaker, the Minister says that a marginal increase in NIS contributions would fund the new $3,000 plus pension that beneficiaries have been promised in the budget presentation. The Oxford Dictionary defines, at least my copy, defines marginal to mean minor, borderline, not important. So the Minister of Finance is going to implement a marginal increase so as to fund what he has promised. What are the facts? Mr. Speaker, currently the NIS has approximately 70,000 persons who are receiving long-term retirement benefits at $2,000 per month. The Minister of Finance proposes to increase this benefit by 50% to $3,000 per month. This means that the monthly payout in pension benefit would be increased by $70 million per month for an annual total of $840 million. That is the increase that the Minister of Finance says is marginal and would be funded by an increase in the NIS contributions for the narrow bracket of contributing persons who earn above $10,000 per month. Mr. Speaker, when is $0.84 billion in additional tax a marginal sum of money? Mr. Speaker, of the 500,000 persons currently on the NIS portfolio of contributors, exactly how many are earning greater than $10,000 per month? And are therefore qualified to be taxed as proposed to support this $840 million increase. And is the Minister still prepared to say to all citizens that in this budget he has not introduced a tax for anybody? Is he still prepared to say that? The Minister introduced far-reaching proposals like this with all kinds of implications, but deliberately stayed away from using numbers to present the true picture. What then is the true picture? Mr. Speaker, it is very unlikely that this $840 million increase could be obtained from the band of earners from, greater than $10,000 per month without a hefty increase above what prevails now. Is it not that only about 5 to 10% of the contributors are in that category of $10,000 per month and over? Currently, the NIS pays out approximately $1.5 billion per year in retirement pension benefit. With the new proposal adding another $840 million, this brings the annual payout to about $2.34 billion. Juxtapose that with the current income of $2.65 billion. This would leave less than $300 million per month for investment after operational costs are factored into the equation. At present, the NIS is investing about $950 million a year to meet its current commitments. It follows that the minimum increase to be levied on the targeted group of contributors will have to supply approximately $600 million in tax for investment purposes if stability is to be retained to support this $840 million additional payout. That is a whopping $1.4 billion marginal need. I see the Minister of Finance laughing. I hope what he's saying is that he has another way of computing these numbers. Notwithstanding whatever the Minister says, it is more than likely that any actuarial studies applied to the total NIB portfolio as required by law will see significant increases in NIS contributions being recommended in order to keep the NIS sustainably afloat. Much as I would like to see the beneficiaries receive their increases as quickly as possible, the Minister's promise of doing this within a month or so is very optimistic. Does the Minister have the actuarial studies in hand and an immediate slot on the parliamentary timetable, because I suspect that that's required. Mr. Speaker, the language that the minister used to introduce the incorporation of self-employed into the NIS in the way that he described could be confusing to some. The minister said, we are seeking, and I'm quoting him here, we are seeking to include the self-employed in the benefits under the NIS. Given what else the minister said, the following questions arise. 1. Will 115,000 self-employed persons immediately qualify for the $3,000 per month or similar benefit, despite having made significantly fewer contributions than current contributors? I'm asking, he didn't tell us. He didn't tell us. Is the principle of payout related to contributions be replaced by equal payment for all contributors in each category? Mr. Speaker, my colleagues across there telling me I should assume it is not so. I'm assuming nothing where the UNC government is concerned. If it is not so, you must tell us it is not so, because you didn't tell us how it was. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, please. Mr. Speaker, if the UNC is a team of chameleons, then CLICO and their CLICO position is their mascot. Position number 1. When CLICO collapsed in 2009 and the country was confronted with the need to intervene to prevent systemic risk and collapse of our total financial system and economy, the UNC had no objection to the bailout. So, I can assume, to take their advice, that they supported it. Position 1. Position 2. When the central bank intervened and the government committed through a number of statements that it will stand behind the institutions to ensure that they don't collapse, some depositors who got some confidence in that even began to roll over the deposits. And of course, the methanol market started to improve, and the shareholding of the bank, Republic Bank, started to turn up. In other words, conditions of revenue started to look better. The UNC in opposition had no problem with that, because we had an election campaign, and I can't remember on one occasion that one UNC spokesperson during the campaign spoke about dismantling what was in place for the CLICO bailout. Position 3, the UNC is in government. They get into government immediately. Nobody is supporting this. Depositors are greedy and they must stand by their greed. Take your licks. Confidence destroyed and has not been restored since. Position 4. The EFPA is a Ponzi scheme. Depositors have no protection because it was not an insurance policy under the Act, so they have nothing to get. PNM government wasted taxpayers' money to bail out fat cats. This further eroded confidence. Position 5. We are doing you a favor. You shouldn't really get anything, but we're going to give you 40 cents on the dollar, and we'll give you 20 years for the rest of it with no interest. And of course, you must praise me, because I have now solved the CLICO problem. That was last September, 1 year ago. Take it or leave it. That was 1 year ago. Court, UNC government ruled wrong. Position 6. We're going to give you the opportunity to get back 92 cents on the dollar. Praise me. It was supposed to be 40 cents. It is now going to be 92 cents. So I'm worthy of praise. And more than that, I'm going to give you NEL 2. And you will then have bonds, and you can trade your bonds above market rates and so on and so on. Mr. Speaker, total cost of the bailout after 1 year of UNC toing and froing and the 6 positions that I've just described, the total cost is projected at $10 billion. which is about the same as the PNM's bailout. You see, Mr. Speaker,